Hey, what's going on, everyone? It's Steve Larsen. Welcome to Sales Funnel Radio. It's kind of a special, unique episode.
I've spent the last 4 years learning from the most brilliant marketers today. And now I've left my 9-to-5 to take the plunge and build my $1 million business. The real question is, how will I do it without VC funding or debt, completely from scratch? This podcast is here to give you the answer. Join me and follow along as I learn, apply, and share marketing strategies to grow my online business, using only today's best internet sales funnels. My name is Steve Larsen, and welcome to Sales Funnel Radio.
What's up, guys? Hey, I am here at the JW Marriott over in Phoenix, Arizona at the Traffic Secrets event. And it's been a ton of fun to watch Russell go in and teach traffic, which is interesting. If you see, think about it. The dude's running an almost near $1 billion company and doesn't know how to run a Facebook ad, but he's doing a traffic event. Like, the perspective of somebody like that, that's really, really interesting. And so the things he's been teaching has been quite fascinating. The trip here, though, was pretty crazy. We were getting on an airplane, right? Obviously, I was flying to Salt Lake. We get on this airplane at Salt Lake, and everyone goes and they sit down. Obviously, it's full flight, totally loaded up. And the time for us to take off comes, and then it goes, right? And we're still sitting there. The plane hasn't even moved at all. Pretty soon, the captain comes on, like all cliche captains. You know. How you doing, everybody, right? It sounds like the microphone's in his face. Oh, you know, anyways, he goes, the update is that there's no update. I'll tell you when there's an update. I was like, okay, that was weird. And a few minutes later, he gets back on. He goes, hey, look, the luggage guy was filling up the airplane, and there was a huge, bulge coming out of the side of the airplane, and no one can figure out what it is. And the maintenance guy's here, and they can't figure out what it is. So literally, because we can't figure out what it is, we'll give us a few more minutes here. We'll see what needs to happen. And so he leaves, and we're all just sitting there like, what on earth? And it's funny because like a few minutes later, he comes back on. We now should have taken off like 20, 30 minutes ago. And he gets on and he goes, hey, no one can figure out what the heck the bulge is coming out of the side of the airplane. We got to get off and change airplanes. And which might be another 10, 15 minutes because that plane's not even here yet. Go to gate C10. And those kind of scenarios are always really fun because that is when adults turn into children, right? And people start doing things like, oh, are you serious? Oh, and I was like, oh, are you freaking kidding me? Like, to see, alive or dead with bad plane? Alive, dead with bad plane. It's like, come on, are you serious? What are the alternatives here? There's not many alternatives. There's not many options. Like, chill out. And anyway, super funny. So I get here to the actual event, and last night, somebody at like 5 a.m. pulled the fire alarm or something in the entire JW Marriott, right? Which is extremely alarming to wake up to. It reminded me of several basic training days. I was like, whoa, you wake up real fast. You're like, what's up, you know? And again, it's when adults become big kids and start complaining like crazy. You know, I'm not saying like you can't ever have a negative feeling towards things that are going on in life, but there's been this pattern that I started seeing in my coaching and things that are around in life. I'm not saying not to like feel emotions, but holy crap, if you can't handle something unexpected in life and react to it well, if you can't be able to respond, like the book 7 Habits Highly Effective People says, right? If you're not response-able, I don't think you're gonna be a good entrepreneur, right? The set of problems that I woke up to today was different and not foreseen than the problems I woke up to yesterday. Okay, and that's like the game of freaking entrepreneurship, right? And so many people get so mad about stuff like, well, I didn't think it would be this way. Well, you give me a refund. This kind of treatment isn't acceptable. Are you kidding? You could die. Like, what? Shut up, right? You big baby. Literally, you're a big baby, right? And anyways, and I always laugh at that. Or when I'll be coaching somebody, and I'll be like, all right, hey, now it's time for you to start publishing. And they'll be like, oh, man. They start doing all this crap. Like, are you freaking kidding me? Like, you want to know the framework. That was the last episode I talked about frameworks that cause causing cash-based frameworks, and you're not willing to do it. It's like, holy crap. And so, just kind of wrap this whole one up here. It was interesting because I was sitting here listening to Myron Golden. You know, I was doing my One Funnel Away challenge stuff, and I got up early, went into the event room. No one was in there, just a few people setting up anyway. And I did my One Funnel Away challenge coaching, right? Which is a challenge where I help people get a funnel out the door in 1 month. And I was sitting there, and the lights were cool, right? And I wanted to sit around with the lights, and I wanted to sit around with all the noise and the music in the background, and did my coaching right there. Sorry, there's a big something coming. I'm gonna walk this way. But it was interesting because Myron Golden walked up, okay? And he goes, dude, I just read the most impactful book I've ever read in my life since Expert Secrets. And when somebody says a phrase like that, you know, it's time to shut up and listen. And so he said, he goes, it was a book called U Squared, U2, right? Literally the word U, like, you know, Y-O-U, and then the number 2. And he goes, it's not long, it's actually a super short book, and I believe the audiobook is on YouTube for free. And I'm excited to go listen to it, but the basic principle and premise of it, sorry for the sound of that guy right there, I'm trying to walk away from him. The basic principle of it is this, and it's so funny because this is exactly what I've been noticing is the reason people don't have success, okay? They don't have success simply because they're so fixated on seeing beginning to end. Okay, he walked up and he said, the reason people are not successful yet is because, there were several things he said, but the biggest thing that I remember, right? He said the biggest reason they're not successful yet is because they have not decided to be yet. And you might, okay, I got it, and that doesn't sound very deep, okay? But he said, think about it, right? They haven't decided to be successful yet. The word decide means to make an incision, right, and cut out all other options. If you decide, what's up, birds? You sound cool, right? If you decide to be successful, you don't care what the paths are. You don't care the roadblocks along the way. You don't care what things you're gonna hit. There's going to be unexpected stuff, right? The reason I wanted to be an entrepreneur, when I started realizing what marketers really do, is because I had an early mentor of mine tell me, Steven, to be a marketer is to solve new problems every day that you did not have the day before, right? To be an entrepreneur is to have a new set of problems every day. And if you have an unexpected things that pop up in your life and you're like, oh man, are you serious? This is unexpected. How come no one told me about this? I'm in this challenge, I'm in this startup guide. The startup guide didn't include this piece for me. Man, you are the freaking problem, right? Not the, like, does that make sense? It's the way that you're seeing this thing. You haven't married the outcome yet, okay? Okay, step one, you figure out what you want. You put a stamp out there, stamp in the ground, bam, this is what I want. You declare it. This is it. Boom, this is what I'm going for. And then what you do is you just start taking steps, okay? The most common thing I see that stops people in the game is this. In order for you to actually totally get this, I want to tell you a little story real fast, okay? I'm actually not that big of a hunter, but I love to shoot guns. Growing up, my dad took me hunting a couple times, and I love shooting 30-06 though. I like shooting big, heavy rounds. And so he's a lefty and I'm a righty. So I'd go out with this 30-06 with the bolt action like on the opposite side, which was really weird when he fired. But anyway, so we go out to this little spot. He gets me up super early, you know, way before the sun is even out. It's pitch black, it's freezing. And we go up to these high mountains, super high mountains, and we get out of the car, you know, out of the truck, and we start walking for a little bit. And we're walking for a little bit, and we stop and we sit down, and I can't see a thing. I mean, when I say that, I mean, it is like pitch black. I can't even see my hand in front of my face, you know, just right. It's so dark. And I'm sitting there, and it starts to get super cold. And the sun, when the sun is about to rise, is when it is actually the coldest, because all the cold starts to come off the ground as the sun kind of chases it off the ground. And so you're sitting there for hours, right? You're sitting there for hours. And it starts to get super, because you're not moving, it starts to get super cold as all that cold starts to come off the ground, and you know the sun's about to come up in a little bit. And sure enough, a little bit of light comes, a little bit of light. And I can start to see, like, if I extend my hand all the way, I can actually see it now, right? And as we're sitting across this valley, I just gave it away right there. As we're sitting right there, suddenly the light starts to pop up just a little bit. And there's actually a peak on the opposite side of where I'm sitting across this huge valley. I didn't even know it was there, right? And the peak, the sun just barely hits the top of that peak. It was beautiful. That was absolutely amazing. And the sun keeps kind of going down, or keeps going up while the sunlight, right? The line where the light is popping up keeps going down. Suddenly I realized we are sitting on the edge of this gigantic, beautiful valley, this huge, amazing valley. Had no idea it was there. Sat there for hours while I watched this thing pop up. And that experience always stuck with me. I did not get an elk that day, which sucks, but someone in our party did. And anyway, so this principle, I want you to know, is like the major core mentality that all successful entrepreneurs have, okay? I don't know what step 4, even right now for me, is. I don't, okay? I know the macro level moves I'm moving. There's a crap ton of micro things I don't even know exist. I've never had to deal with yet. I've never had to solve, but I know how to learn. I learned how to learn. And there's this amazing person who knows everything named freaking Google. And I can just go there and I can Google, it's gonna be right there, right? I can go to this amazing individual called YouTube. And you know what? I can learn so much on YouTube. It's insane how much I can learn on YouTube. Most of my early clients, I knew how to do. I knew that what they were asking me to do was possible, but I didn't know how to do it. I knew others were doing it, but I didn't know how to do it. So what does that mean? It means I'm the variable. So I would go out and I would say, yes, client, I can do X, Y, and Z for you. And then I would go to YouTube and I would figure out how to do it. Okay, literally, that's how I actually started. Okay, I did that a ton for years, right? And by having to have a deliverable, it forced me to learn quickly, forced me to learn only the most valuable pieces I needed to actually move the ball forward, right? The 80% that mattered versus the 20% to perfection. Don't worry about that last 20%, okay? I don't care what step 4 is for me on this micro level. I don't care about it till I've taken step 3, right? I hardly even know how to put my foot down on step 2 right now. That's the whole point though, okay? Most of the time, I've noticed, this is like the overlaying pattern I've seen. There's really 2 things I've seen when I'm coaching somebody new in this game. I've now brought well over 2,000 people through this process now, okay, of building a funnel and getting out the door. The first mentality I've noticed is that people are waiting to take action for them to see beginning and end. Man, I didn't see the whole freaking valley forever, right? Hours and hours and hours of sitting there, freezing my butt off, uncomfortable stuff, okay? You never see beginning and end in this game. You don't, okay? And if I can encourage you one thing on that, just one other thing real fast on that, stop learning generally. And I've said that before in this podcast. I'm just saying it again. It's just on my mind, all these things wrapped together again, right? And it's like, man, I got to stop learning generally. If I don't need SEO, why in the heck am I learning it? Is it for me to place the very next step I need to take today, right? Do I need to learn it? Most likely not. Right? I most likely don't. I don't need to go put my foot, right? That might be some other crazy thing way down the road. And even then, I'm not going to be the one doing it. Why on earth am I going to study something like SEO? If that's your thing, great. But only if it's the very next step you need to take, right? I cut out, it would shock you guys how much I don't study books. It would shock you guys how much I don't just consume crazy amounts of podcasts anymore, okay? It was good at the beginning. It was great. But as soon as I knew what I wanted, as soon as I knew what I was going for, it all became about learning with intent to just place the very next step in front of me. I don't care how much other cool information is out there. It doesn't do anything, okay? Knowledge is not power. Knowledge applied is power, right? And so I'm gonna apply it with the most intense force that I can with just the next thing. So I practice just-in-time learning. So I place my foot down, bam, just-in-time learning. I just learned just for that thing, just in time for me to place that foot in the next place. Funny enough, as soon as I take step number 1, a new step 3 always appears, right? It kind of comes into light just a little bit, not clearly, but then there's a new step 1. I'm like, oh, okay, let me place that foot, right? As best as my foot can be placed. Boom, there it is. Right? Oh, let me place that next, oh, boom, let me, wait, I don't know how to do that. That's okay, let me go read about this, YouTube, right, my foot's off the ground. I'm not placing the foot yet, the foot's still up there. Oh, let me go see, oh, okay, I know how to place that one. And pretty soon, you start walking at a pretty brisk pace. And the better and better you get that, you start to sprint, you start to run. And some of you guys have said, like, Steven, you haven't even graduated from college for 3 years yet. How in heck are you doing that? That's how, okay? I don't just learn for the sake of freaking learning. I learn for me to go towards the goal. And I don't care about the path it takes to get to the goal. It's gonna look like that, okay? Stop waiting for it to be straight. It doesn't work like that, okay? So again, first thing I notice from people is that they want to see beginning and end. Doesn't happen that way, okay? Doesn't happen that way. You come to me and you try and find anyone that's happened that way for. The second thing I've noticed is that people unanimously, okay, like the number one complaint that I get, not complaint, but excuse. The number one excuse I get for not taking action from people, the biggest excuse they give me is, Stephen, well, how does that work for my product? Man, freaking A. All right, if you're selling anything or you're getting leads, I don't care if the point of sale is on the freaking internet or if it's off of it. I don't care if you're just, right, if you're just trying to make contact a little bit, but if you're selling anything, I don't care if it's your product or if it's somebody else's. I don't care if it's info, if it's real estate, it's real business, if it's brick and mortar stuff. I don't care if it's B2B, I don't care if it's retail. If you're selling anything at all, these are the principles that make things sell. Doesn't matter if it's your product. Doesn't matter if it's someone else's product. Doesn't matter if someone else owns it. Doesn't matter if it's affiliate, okay? Guys, oh my gosh, that one freaking drives me nuts, okay? Stop thinking you're unique. You are way less unique in your business than you think you are, okay? It's not a bash, it's the truth, okay? My stuff, right, there's like a 30% area where it's my pure genius. The other 70, man, who's it said, if you think you're a hot shot, just look around and realize you've been standing on the shoulders of giants all along. It's some quote like that. That's the truth, okay? That's the truth. So you gotta understand, like, you are not unique, okay? You are unique, but I'm saying your business, right, your product, it's not really that unique. You're not really that much of an exception to what I'm talking about, because you're not at all, okay? Okay, so don't think like, oh, I gotta see beginning to end. First of all, that's garbage. No one follows that. No one follows that, okay? It was literally the night before we sold the original 2 Comma Club coaching program that we actually outlined the offer. People were registered for the thing. People were ready. We already did the first full day. It was the second day, the night before that second day, where we actually, okay, what should we sell them? Okay? Just move. Start swinging the bat. Too many of you guys have been focused on figuring out what the material of the bat is made out of. Who cares? Swing, 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 okay? Swing. And realize that you are not this like crazy exception to the things we're talking about. You're not. Well, I think my scenario is different. Bull crap. Bull crap. I'm gonna make you feel uncomfortable and call you out right now. That's a lie. And it's been a lie that you've been romancing so that you won't have to take action. What I've noticed is that in each one of my coaching programs, it's always usually around anywhere from week 2 to 6. That's where I get the most pushback, because those are the places where I force people to take the most action. So they start doing things like, well, how much time does it take the average person to do this? Man, that is a symptom of you having a belief. You're literally trying to find a way to release yourself from the good pressure you're feeling. That's what you're trying to find a way to not do the thing and keep your pride on the way out. Well, people said that it takes about 3 months, and I really only have 2 months and 2 weeks, so I'm not a good fit. And you're trying to find a way to keep your pride and exit at the same time. Just saying. Done it a lot, coached thousands of people through the process now, okay? Well, Stephen, I don't know. How do you actually go create the product? Man, I guarantee you, if you just go out and freaking Google that, you're gonna find the answer, okay? If I start answering every person's little tiny baby question that could have been answered by Google, I don't teach you to be a self-solver, okay? My goal is to teach you a level of self-dependency, okay? I want you to be self-sufficient. And so like, there's a ton of stuff I can go teach on all these different things, but the problem I found is that people will use it as an excuse to not take action, or they'll use it as an excuse to try and keep their pride and justify their actions or their inaction for doing things. Well, Stephen, I can't see beginning to end. Well, Stephen, I don't think that this is gonna be, I don't think my product or my scenario is a fit for what you're talking about. Yeah, bullcrap, okay, garbage, not true at all, okay? I'm just a little tough love Stephen Larsen coming out right now, right? Because I'm so sick of people using those excuses, okay? I'm getting sick enough of it that I'm like, I'm gonna get pretty forward about it. I was coaching this morning, one funnel away challenge stuff in the event room again. We're just on a break, so I'm gonna go back in here in just a few seconds, but we, someone asked again. Someone asked like 3 times, well, I just don't know how this works for affiliate marketing, or how does this work? Well, I'm in MLM, so it's not really that way. Well, I'm in retail, so it's not really that way. And I was like, freaking A, okay? I'm talking about sales. This is human psychology. Do you got a brain? Yes, you do. So does that person, everyone in the audience says. These are things and principles that cause human persuasion and action in general. You are not an exception to the rule. You are way less an exception to the rule than you've romanticized. And I'm just saying it. Okay, because I care about you guys. You are my audience. I protect you like crazy. Okay, and that's my mentality anyway. Okay, a lot of people want to get on the show or stuff like that. I'm like, no, because you guys are my tribe. I've sacrificed like crazy to try and reach out to you guys, and you can hear my voice and my message. And so that's my message today. Okay, Your business is way less an exception to the rule than you want to think it is. Don't think you need to see beginning to end. And like, understand that these really are frameworks that cause cash. But the variable, if somebody else is doing it successfully, if somebody else is out there and they're actually making it happen, but you're not, you're the problem, okay? Something in the way that you perceive the framework is the problem. It's coming from your head, between your ears, okay? Just telling you a little tough love. I appreciate you guys. You're amazing. If you haven't appreciated this episode, I spoke some kind of tough, hard truth on this one, maybe a little bit. Just got my water bottle. I don't know. I would love your honest feedback on this. This is first going to go on YouTube, then we kind of repurpose it to lots of other platforms where you guys like to consume, and so that you can stay on those platforms as you guys want to. Anyway, please let me know. Be brutal about it, and I would love to hear it. Thanks so much, guys. We'll see you guys later. Bye.
Boom. Thanks for listening. Hey, please remember to rate and subscribe. Hey, you want me to speak at your next event or mastermind? Let me know what I can share that would be most valuable by going to stevejlarsen.com and book my time now.